I've been in the mental health field for over 30 plus years and have always loved music and have always loved hospitality. When Lee and I met, we looked at each other and declared that we wanted to see the world, but we wanted to see it through the eyes of the people that live there.
I was a musician for 26 years, took a diversion into the food service industry for another 26 years. Toward the end of that period, when I started playing music again, Connie and I met. Actually, I played a party here in her house, and that's how we met.
He was the band for my party. We had been hosting a drumming and dance troupe from Ghana called Africania for many years. After about 6, 7 years of this, he said, "I want you to go with me to Ghana." And so that was our first trip to Africa. He took us to his village where we were exposed to things.
What's it called?
Oh, you have to answer that.
I took
I can never pronounce it.
Anlo Afia de Nigba.
And what we discovered there was beyond anything we'd ever experienced. That was the beginning of the germ of the idea that we had something we wanted to share with people. Their spirituality informs everything about their dance and their drumming. When we hosted them again and we gave a little presentation, which we had them augment on what everything meant, something that Lexington had experienced quite a bit, but they didn't understand the cultural context. And then we went to
Cuba. What year was that?
2017.
We took a trip to Cuba masquerading as students in a study abroad program. We stayed in a Soviet-era tenement building on the outskirts of Havana. Just incredible music, incredible art, and met fantastic people. And we invited our translator, Alberto Gonzalez, to come and do a presentation, and that was the very first Green Room presentation. But it really was a very moving experience because people don't know.
After our trip to Cuba, we tried to bring the artists that we met. We have some of his art in our home, and that's when they closed the embassy.
So we reached out to Ziamora Laugert and her son Axel Laugert, and they agreed to come to Lexington to perform. Ziamora is known as the voice of Cuba. Fantastic singer, and her son is a virtuoso piano player.
The Senegal project was just extraordinary, and we just did that last year. It started with me having a chance meeting with an Uber driver who was playing African music in his car, which I recognized, and I said, "Oh, that music is beautiful," and he said, "Oh, it's mine."
I heard Alioun's music and I understood it was the real thing. So we brought Alioun and Numukunda Sissoko, a kora player, and they played with my musicians, and we did a show here at the Roots and Heritage Festival. At the end of those performances, Alioun looked at me and said, "We have to make a record." And I said, "Okay." We brought recordings home with the Senegalese musicians, and Lexington musicians played on them also. So there was this dialogue, that thing which started this whole process.
And that is still ongoing because the Lee's musicians and the Senegalese musicians are still in contact, and the album has been recorded and is still to be released. And we plan on helping market him. That's the value that Green Room can bring to this, is that we are now becoming a producer to help musicians that are coming from poorer places get a leg up.
You know, it's not just about the performance, it's about the value of educating and documenting these performances, taking these folks into schools and maybe affecting young folks who have an experience they never would have had without us bringing these folks to town.
We know that when we bring people to town from other places, they're going to get to see another culture through the music and the arts of the people that live there, and that's our goal.
There's not a single person we brought here who doesn't want to come back.
Oh yeah, they love Lexington. They love Lexington.
I would like to thank the people of Lexington who have enabled us to be able to do this. To bring these artists to town, they've supported us, they've donated money and allowed our nonprofit to continue the good work that we do, and they believe in what we're doing. And I just want to thank everybody for everything they've given.
Hayo, 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 Kenya Baba.